workshop session where you guys are going to learn everything about open source contribution. As it's our first day of this event, here we are going to discuss all about some basics of open source. Here you are going to aware about some tools, technologies and platforms you guys are going to use in your open source contribution journey. We are also going to discuss the significance of open source contribution for a developer. And at the end of our session, we are going to reveal the surprises we have planned for you guys for the day two of our event. So, till then, stay tuned. And for now, I'm going to introduce you guys with our speakers for today's session. So, we have two speakers for today. One of them is Manish Saha, the Web and App Dev Associate for our GDSC RCCIIT, and Vaibhav Mukherjee from DevDotCom, who is also the founder of that community. So, speakers, I am handing over the session to you guys.
Okay, so am I audible? Uh, Orgo, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are perfectly audible.
Yeah. So, hey everyone, I am Manish Saha, and I and Vaibhav will be your speakers for today. So, before starting today's session, I want you guys to do something, which is basically to take a notebook, means a copy and a pen, or open any note app, because there will be some key points today which I want you guys to note down, because these will be very helpful for your upcoming journey in your open source contribution. So, and these will be the basic commands and the terms which you guys will be using in day-to-day life of your open source journey. So with that, I want Vaibhav to start with our today's session.
So, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So, hey everyone, myself Baivab Mukhopadhay. I'm from JS College of Engineering. Currently, I'm studying on my second year of BTech Computer Science Engineering, and I'm also founder of 900 more than 900 people's tech community in our college. So, as of you guys know, Open Source Safari is a 2-day event. Today is the first day, the intro to Git and GitHub, and I would like to take you on a drive with me on the website of GitHub and give you a brief introduction about it. So, at first, coming to the okay, can move the slide. Okay. So today, let me tell you today's agenda at first. We're going to talk about version control concept, Git basics, and setting up the Git basic commands, GitHub basics, working with GitHub repositories, and GitHub features. So next slide, please. So coming to GitHub. Well, many of you guys do code. Probably you are into web dev or app dev. You guys are building front end and back end websites, but I guess you build the front end part of it, but you want to give it to the back end guy to work on the back end servers. But how can you give the code to the back end guy? You can probably use your WhatsApp or Google Drive or probably OneDrive or any other cloud provider to use it, or any other social network. But it's not an effective way to do that. And frankly speaking, it's the dumbest way to do that, because it doesn't give you the collaborative experience and other multiple like cool stuffs that can GitHub provide you in your for maintaining a code base. So what is GitHub? GitHub is a web-based platform for version control and collaboration. So I bold two words over there: version control and collaboration. This is all the core part of GitHub, that you can control the version of your softwares and websites. So let's get back to 2008, when GitHub was not present in the World Wide Web. They were like, it was present in mind of three peoples. Those three people were working on a project, and they were probably trying to make a feature, but rather than creating a feature, they came up with a bug in their pre-existing well-working code base. But they tried to fix it, but they couldn't. So they wanted their previous fixed code back, but there wasn't available any version control system back in those days. That was the creation point of GitHub, when they thought about, we need something to collaborate with each other and get back our previous fixed good code. So that was about a brief introduction of GitHub's history. Now coming today, GitHub, like, okay, mm, now GitHub has become an integral part of developers' toolkit these days. Thousands of companies and developers use GitHub for maintaining their code bases, collaborating with each other, um, and creating new issues and resolving them, testing for their websites, etc. So, what's so special about GitHub? Why there is a buzzword in the first year of college that you need to learn Git and GitHub at first to collaborate with each other and to part in the open source community? To know about this, you need to learn about 5 aspects of GitHub. That is very important. Coming to the most core aspect of version control system. Well, version, like as I told you guys, version is like you build something and saved it in your computer. Like you created a website, it was working. Then you try to pull out a new feature out of it, but unfortunately you messed up the code and it's not working. The website got crashed and everything is just messed up. You want to get it back. How are you going to get it back? There is something like you need a tool that can track your previous code and get back the previous code to you of Git. And GitHub is based on Git. Git not only tracking the versions, it's also empowers developer to collaborate simultaneously and seamlessly, and to track their every modifications of code base. Version control system allows you to easily create copies of your code, merging other codes to your code base, tracking the previous history of your code. So coming to the next point, collaboration. Like I give you the scenario of creating a website. You build the front end, but you need a guy to create the APIs, create the servers, do testing on it, and you need to send it to them. You can just make like that got a good term repository. So you can create a repository in the GitHub and store your codes in there. The other developers can get your code from there and use it, like making the backends or etc. Not only it's just like it's all about web dev, app development, AI ML stuffs, all works like that way. So he or she can get the code from there and add some new changes in it and push it back to the main repository that I mentioned. So to do this, you need GitHub features some special like some special tools like pull request, code reviews, issue tracking. You can use them to collaborate with each other simultaneously. Well, coming to pull requests, what are pull requests? Well, some of you got know about the like abbreviation of pull request PR. Like how many PRs have you done? So the PR is a standout feature of GitHub. There are a way to propose and discuss code changes in a structured manner in GitHub. Like you created, like you want to collaborate with some person and you want to contribute in their repository. You got there and check the issues in the code base. You want to add some new feature in it. You copied the code base and started working on it. But the person doesn't know that you are working on it. As public repositories are widely available to everyone to see and use it, so you can like directly start working on it. But after that, you want these new features to the main to reflect in the main code base. So you created a request to the main code base maintainer that please accept my features in your code base. He or she will check the features, and if it is correct and working fine, then they will accept your request, like pull request, and your code will be merged to their main code base. Coming to access control, GitHub offers precise access control to the maintainers. Like I give you an example of someone is trying to push their code to others repository. But what if you know the person who is pushing the code? What if he needs to push the code simultaneously and like multiple times? So you need to give him a special grade permission that he or she can uh, like add the code easily without any other prior permission, getting any approval checks. So you can give that special permit to any other person to maintain your code base and add new features in it. This means you can have control who can contribute to your project and what level of access they have. Coming to the CI/CD part, well, CI/CD stands for continuous integration and continuous development. Well, while making websites, you need to perform some security standard checks, or you need to deploy it in a test server at first to check if it is running or not, it is working fine. So, like creating new features, adding it is quite hectic. So you need continuous development and continuous integration pipelines to automate this whole stuff. There are some few tools available in the market. GitHub helps to integrate those tools in GitHub Actions to easily seamlessly integrate the continuous development and continuous deployment part of your project. So, like I told many of things about GitHub, but at the beginning of everything, you need to know actually GitHub is a like code sharing platform on steroids kind of thing. Like you can collaborate with each other, share your code, save your codes, create multiple code copies, and like host your projects over there. So this was all about GitHub. Now there is on the first point there is a version control term. You need to learn about what is version control and get in deep dive into it to use GitHub because it is the core of the GitHub. I would like to call Manish and tell you about what is version control system and how it is helping GitHub to work.
Yeah, sure, Vaibhav. Samit, can you allow me to share the screen?
Absolutely, absolutely. You can share the screen. I am stopping the presentation then.
Okay, okay. One second, guys. Yeah. So is my screen visible?
Yes, it's perfectly visible.
Yeah. So basically, what is this version control that we are talking about? Let's start with the basics. So imagine you have a code base and you want to click a picture of it, and so that
Sorry, Manish, I'm
yeah,
interrupting. Sorry, could you
yeah,
please
yeah.
stop the presentation once? There is actually a method you can present it better.
Uh-huh.
Could you please stop the presentation for once?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, on that page, if you could please on the top right hand corner where it shows slideshow, drop down there and there's a presenter view. Open that and share that tab. It will be helpful.
Okay, okay, okay. Cool, cool. Okay. One second, guys. Yeah. Uh, right from present. Yeah. Now it's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, sure. So let me continue again. So what is this version control that we guys are talking about? So it basically, what it does is clicks a picture of the past code base. Like it's basically like a time machine which we are having, right? So in this version control thing, the thing which we'll be using is Git. So what this Git basically allows us, it helps us track that which person made what change and where in the project that we guys are working on. And what is GitHub? GitHub is basically the platform that allows us to host all our Git repositories. And these repositories are nothing but all the projects or the folders that we are working around. And we basically do this so that all the folks all around the world can look into our code, can contribute to our code, and can make changes. And that's basically the main concept, which is the collaboration, so that we guys can collaborate with everyone around the world. And that's how this contribution system works. So with that, uh, what I would like to do is, wait, let me Samvit, how am I allowed to escape this? Okay, 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 got you. So let's start with the hands-on session, guys. So what I'll be doing is dropping a link in the chat, and I want you guys to go into that link and open up that link from there. And there you will see there is this thing called Git for Windows. So please go into that link and download this thing called standalone installer 64-bit for Windows setup. So download it, guys. I'll give you 1 to 2 minutes. It's just 58 MB, I guess. So I have already downloaded it. Let me open this. Yeah. So here is this thing. This will be called git.bit.exe. And when you click on it, uh,
Manish, someone
yeah.
is asking for Mac.
Okay, you have asked. As for the Mac, all the links are also given there. You can check it if you guys are on Mac. If you open the link that I gave to the Notion thread, it's having brew install git, and that will basically do the job. And if you are on Linux, it's already pre-installed. So yep, I think you guys can pick up from there. I think for Mac it does come pre-installed. Uh, I don't know. So from here you click on next, and here you have to select what folder you are going to install Git, and this will be my C drive, program files, and there will be a folder called Git. From there, I will click on next. You can click on this additional icons on desktop, and then click on next. And from here, you can also again click on next. So as a default editor, the change which you guys need to do right here is uh, select this thing called use Visual Studio Code as default Git's editor. Okay, okay, okay. So
Manish,
someone, yeah. I will go slow then.
Manish, I would say wait for around 2 minutes, then
Yeah, yeah.
continue. Thank you.
Uh, I already said that this is a total hands-on session, guys. So you won't be able to download it from your phone. You have to be on your laptop or your desktop.
You can be on this meeting link or this event through your phone,
Yeah.
but we would recommend to have your laptop or desktop open and follow along, as this will be a very much a hands-on session. You need to be following what we need to do. Okay.
So, Shubham, have you down completed your download? Please confirm. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's the portable one. Let me show it to you again. This is the thing which you want to download. No, no, it's not the portable one. It's actually the standalone installer. It will be the 64-bit Git for Windows setup. This is the thing which you want to download. Yeah. Yeah, Sambit, there is no Sambit Ganguly. There is that's not the issue right now. I think you can watch this video again. There will be a recorded session of it available. For those of you guys who are having problem in your laptop or your computer, I suggested at the beginning of the meeting, just take a copy and a pen and note down a few important steps. Yeah, Sujat, so let me again walk you through this. Wait, cancel this. Yes, open this here. So you will need to double click on the downloaded file, and you will be prompted with this thing called, do you want to allow this app to make changes? You will click yes. And whenever you click yes, there will be another prompt coming up that will tell you to accept all the terms and conditions. Just click on next there. I hope you guys are following along. And you can again click on next here. And from here, you can click on the additional icons on your desktop if you want it in your desktop. Okay, so Paritosh is saying, can we download the latest version? Yeah, you can download any version. If you guys think that I'm going too fast, just try to note the things. Okay, I know many of you guys are not having a laptop or computer right now, so just note it, and the recorded session will be available. So no worries on that part. So let me click on next again. Next. So here I want you guys to change this to,
Manish,
yeah, yeah.
please repeat the previous step and click on the back. Some people are asking for the repeating.
Okay. Yeah. So first you need to accept the terms and conditions and click on next. I hope you guys are following along. And again, there will the folder. This will be, don't change it. I think this will be the basic one. So you can again click on next, and this just make sure that you are having 321.5 MB of disk space available, and then click on next. And upon coming here, you can set all the other checkboxes as default and click on additional icons on the desktop and click on next again. And from the start menu, if you want there to be a start menu folder for this git, uh, you can do it, or you can also create don't create and click on next again. So up till this point, I hope you guys have followed along. I'm assuming that as a yes. And from here, click on the drop down and click on use Visual Studio Code as default Git's editor. Yep, this is what you guys need to use. It's the cool one. So, yep, when you click this one and we click on next again. Now here, what I want you guys to do is click on override the default branch name for your new repositories, because nowadays most of the repositories are having the name main instead of the branch name master. So here, just click on override the default branch name for new repositories, and here there will be main written by default. So just you don't need to provide anything else. Just let it be main and click on next. Okay. Now adding adjusting your environment part variables. Let it be on the recommended and click on next again. Here also I will say you that let it be on the default and click on next. Here also I will tell you to let it be on the default and click on next. In this configuring the line editing conversion, this also let it be on the default and click on next. Configuring the terminal emulator to use git bash, here also let it be on the use min tty and click on next again. And on the default behavior of git pull, let it be forward or merge. I will explain this later, but let it be on the default and click on next again. And for the credential manager, we will just select git credential manager as a default one. So here also you have to click next again. Configuring extra options, here also you can click next again. So here's now the thing. For configuring experimental options, I want you guys to check both these options: enable experimental support for pseudo consoles and enable experimental built-in file system monitor. So check these two options. Okay, so Arjun is saying which default editor. Sambit, can you keep on replying to the chat?
Yep, I'm seeing that. You continue.
Yeah, yeah. So after this, this will be the last prompt which we'll be having, and after that you can click on install, and the installation will progress. It's taking a bit time. Let it install as it goes. If you guys are having problem, Sambit will be there to answer you in the chat. So just keep going. So this says there are two types of VSS. Select the first one, Sujit, in the drop-down list. Open bundle. I think it will be in the default. Yeah, we will get the recorded session. It uh, on the question of open bundle or external SSH, it will be the default option that is present there. I think it's the open bundle. And now after finishing the setup, uncheck view release notes and click on launch git bash, and we are done as of now. Are you guys following along? When you click on finish, this should be the main thing that pops up here. Confirm me that this is the main thing that's popping up.
Okay, so how many of you have successfully installed the Git? Write in the chat box.
Hazima, can you uh, DM Sambit? He's going to help you. Sambit, can you please help?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah, yeah, Trisha. I will waiting for 2 to 3 minutes more, and let's get to the next portion. It's a long session, guys. We have to be a little bit quick. Vaibhav, if you're there, can you help Sumit Ahmed?
Yeah, yeah. I'm checking.
Yeah. So 1 more minute, guys. let's get going. Shubham, after installing, just uncheck the view release notes and click on launch git bash. Upon that, you will be prompted with this window, which is the git bash default window that you will be using in your day-to-day work. Uh, Sambit, can you please help Sujit also? Yeah, so let's get going, guys. So let me minimize this first and explain you a few things before getting started. So how this basically this system actually works, I have a slide for you. So first of all, the directory which you guys will be working with, it's called the working directory, and there you have your basic like the git folder initialized, and this working directory is where you have the git folder initialized. So upon going next, when you do the git add command, which we'll be doing later, it is moved to a particular place called the staging area. This is staging area is called a staging area because it's the intermediate place before all the changes are being moved to the local .git folder. If I do git commit right now, I will be means all my changes will be there in the git local repository, which is the .git folder in where you have initialized in the working directory. Okay, don't worry. This all these commands and I will be showing you guys. So after this thing, when you guys do this command called the git push, all these changes are moved to the remote repository. And what I actually mean by the remote repository is basically the GitHub or Gitbucket or any kind of the hosting online platform that allows us to host our Git repositories. So this may include GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket. So that's this is basically the thing which you guys need to keep in your mind, or this is the basic workflow of how Git basically works and how we can push things like the changes which we are doing in our day-to-day life or a day-to-day codes from a local repository or a working directory to a remote repository like GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket. So I guess you guys are clear with this. And I want you guys to take a screenshot of this or take a note of this because this staging area, a lot of people get confused. So like this is the intermediate portion when you do a git add, and this is the portion before going to a .git folder. So take a screenshot of this, guys. And now let's get going to the next part. Yeah, so Vaibhav is saying, he's saying totally correct that the local repo is the folder which you have in your PC, and the remote repo represents the folder you have in your like GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket. Huh. So, can I start, guys? Uh, I hope you guys have this terminal ready. If you don't, you can just click on your Windows and search for git bash. This thing is basically called git bash. So from this is the main uh, command line from where you guys will be working with Git and GitHub. So let's get ready with the terminals and let's start. So first of all, I want you guys to do is change your directory to the directory where you want to initialize your Git folder. So just follow me along. Just cd in your desktop, and if you see here, the directory has been changed to my desktop. And from here, create a folder with the command mkdir. Let me name it as test git. I will be going slow. Okay, so yeah, sure. So is this fine? Now, is it fine? Yeah. So first cd into your directory and then type the command mkdir test git and press enter. So now if you ls, you will see that you can see that all the folders that I'm having in my desktop, and among them, you will see that I am having this folder called test git right here. This is called the test git folder. And now if I just change into that particular directory called test git, just type cd test git. Yeah. So now I am into that test git folder, as you can guys see here. And let me clear my screen for now. As I will be typing here, Baivab will also be typing the command so that you guys don't have any problem. So just keep a track of the chat and also what I'm typing right here. So now what you guys really need to do is type the command git init. What this command is basically going to do is initialize git in your this working repository or this working folder. So I type enter. So after typing enter, if I do ls, you can see that there is nothing. So you might ask that where did this thing go? I have done git init, but I cannot say it. So for saying this, because this is a hidden file, what you guys need to do is type ls-a. This will show all the hidden files that you are having in your working directory right now. And if you can see that there is this thing called .git. And also, if you guys note that after I have initialized, you can see that there is this thing called main. So what is this main? So main is, if you guys remember in the setup, I told you guys to override the settings and make it as main, right? If we didn't make it as main, right, like back then, so this would have been master right now. So instead of master, this is main right now. And this, like in today's convention, main is mostly used instead of master. So the name of our branch is going to be main. Sumit, I told you to override that settings there. It's no issues. You can also use master. You can use any name for your branch. It can be your name also. Yeah, so let's follow along again. So if you guys are having a problem with the GUI, I will just go into, sorry, if you guys are having the problem with the CLI, I will just go in the GUI and make another folder. Means go into the test grid folder. From here, you guys can right click and click on like a text document, new text document. Yeah, Arnab, there is a way to change the name of your branch. I'll show it later on. First, let's get this thing sorted. So from here, you can click text document and name it anything. Let's say text.txt. Click on enter and open into that file. When you open it up, this is your basic default notebook editor. So here you can type either anything you want and save this file with Control S. And now to check whether this file has formed or not, you can just type the command ls again, and this will show that there is this file called test.txt. Okay. And if you want to know what is actually inside this file, basically what are the contents inside this file, just do a cat test.txt, and this shows that there is hi there, and it is the same thing that we guys typed, hi there, right? Okay, I think you guys have caught up till now. Can I get a verification in the chat if you guys are? Okay, it's cool. Let's get going with the next steps. So now what I want you guys to do is type the command git add test.txt. Git add and the name of the file. Okay, this is one convention that we can use. Apart from that, what you guys can do is do git add dot. What git, I note this thing, guys. What git add dot does is basically adds all the files in the staging area. I explained to you about the staging area. Let me open it up again. This is the basic staging area. So when I do the git add command, these folders that are actually untracked by git will be moved into this staging area that we guys are having here. So let me minimize this again and type enter. So nothing pops up. You guys might be wondering, are we even doing something? So just wait a minute. So if now the command you need to type is git, before that I would like to add git status. Should have done this way back, but no issues. You will say that it's showing no commits yet, and this is basically showing new file test.txt. So it's showing green right now, but if I had just typed this command before adding it into the staging area, this would have been in red, right? Let me do it again. Wait. So if I come here, make another folder or another file rather, let me name it as test1.txt. If I go there and say hi there again and save this file. Now if I come here and type git status, you will see that here it is written untracked files. Okay, and it's in red. That basically, when this thing is in red, this basically means that the file that we have just created is not in the staging area. Like if we do git add, then only it will be in the staging area. So now we need to just add it, git add dot. Now if we do git status again, we'll see that both the files that we guys have created is in the staging area. So now comes one of the most main things, and take a note of this, guys. So we will doing git commit -m. -m basically means the message which we want to be attached to the changes which we are actually making. So add files, I can give it a commit of add files and click on enter. So now here is a problem which you guys are having. So this basically says that git config global username and git config global username dot here. This thing is actually not initialized, means we are not known to .git that who we are. Like you can't be just be an anonymous and put anything in the internet, right? This is not Web3. Okay, so for this, I hope you guys have a GitHub account, and I hope you guys know what is the username of your GitHub account and the email that is attached to your GitHub account, right? So when you will do this git commit add files, and if you are prompted with this thing, just copy this up till here. Let's copy it. And in Windows or in any operating system, when you are in the command line, you need to press Shift Insert or Control Shift V rather than Control C, because in command line Control C doesn't works. So just press Shift Insert, and this will paste the thing which you have copied, and here write the email that is attached. So for my case, it is Manish manish2003@gmail.com. This is the main command which you guys need to do, and here you need to write your email. So let's click enter. So this is now configured, and again we need to copy this thing. Let's copy it. Let's insert it, and this will basically be your GitHub username. Okay, and press enter. When you guys have pressed enter, if you guys want to verify, just click git config dash dash list. So this basically lists what are the accounts associated here. So if you guys come here and see, the user email is Manish Manish, which is my default email, and the username is Manish18. So this is what basically happens. So now if I do this command called git commit -m and add files, if I press enter, you will see that all the changes have been put from the staging area to this thing called this .git folder or your local repository. So up till this point, I hope you guys have caught up. If not, please tell. Now if you guys want to git status for checking whether you guys are up to date with all the changes, just go git status and it will show you on branch main, nothing to commit, working tree clean. This basically means you are perfectly fine with whatever you are doing. Are you guys done? Please put a confirmation in the chat. I can only see Aritra and Rick have posted a confirmation. Samit, can you please take up on Mayuk is having problem with? Yeah. So before moving further, let me explain you guys a few more things. Like, so this is a platform where you guys can practice Git, and also there is a sandbox which provides here. If you go to the links, like the Notion thread that I gave you guys, from there you will see that learn Git visually. You can use this to learn Git. And if I show you what's actually happening when we do git commit. So this thing called the main, that is the main branch. If you guys have seen that this thing, this is the name of the branch. This is linked with this particular comment called C1. And this arrow that you guys are seeing is called the head. Okay. The head is basically a pointer to the branch with which you guys are working with. And anything that you guys do, like any change or any commits, this will be done only to the pointer or basically the head. Okay. So what happens when I do
Manish,
git?
actually, sorry to interrupt you. Can you please tell us about the working tree of Git and the branches? What are actually branches?
Yeah, I will explain it later before moving. First, let me
Okay,
tell what are the commits.
okay.
Yeah, sure. So if I type git commit here, you will see that
Manish, you are muted.
Hello.
Yeah, you were muted actually.
Okay, okay, okay. Since when have you heard?
Before opening the PPT.
Okay, okay, okay. So I was saying that, as Vaibhav said, let me explain to you guys what branch actually is. So if I go here, so one second, guys. Uh, Having a bit of problem here. Can you give me 1 minute? Yeah, let's get started. So what are basically branches? Are these are basically the pointers to where you are going to make your changes to. Say like suppose if I am having two branches and I am on a particular branch. Let me explain this to you diagram visually. It will be more better. So currently I am on the main branch. This is the thing which we are guys are working with is called the main branch. And if we want to create a new branch from where we want to add our files to, we will do this command called git checkout dash b. Note this command, guys. And let me name the branch as Manish. Yeah. So now I am on the branch called Manish. So if I do git commit right now, you will see that the color has changed, and this particular thing that the changes I'm making is happening to this particular pointer called the Manish branch. And anything that I will doing from right now is going to happen from this Manish branch instead of the main branch that we guys were working with. And if I want to work with the main branch again, what I will do is git checkout main. This will let me switch to the main branch. So I am again switched back to the main branch. If you guys see the pointer here, and if I do git commit here, you will see that this particular thing is deviated from here. And you might be wondering why we like keep two separate branches, why I'm keeping two separate branches here, and why developers out there keep two separate branches. So this is basically because say you're working with a particular feature, right? And say you mess up the code pretty bad, and you just push it to the main branch. So what will happen is that the code which was actually perfect in the main branch and was working, you will just mess up that code again, and all the other people who were actually using that code will also face issues. So that's why before pushing into the main branch, whatever the feature you guys are developing, try to do that feature in your own branch. Like create a separate branch, do anything you want, and uh, just make all the changes in that branch and push it there instead of working with the main branch. So that all said, so I think uh, I should show you guys how I can push all these changes and this repository to the GitHub, like where we want to host out all these repositories, right? That's the main thing which you guys are here for. So let's get that thing. So let me minimize this thing, and I will be going. I think I have it open. So if you guys come to this thing called the platform called GitHub, are you guys caught up? Can I have a confirmation in the chat? Yeah. So now what you guys really need to do is here, let me zoom in a bit. Here, yes. So here, if you click on new on beside the top repositories, This will create a new repository, and here just put the name of the folder which you are working with. The name of my folder was testgit, so I will be putting the name of the repository as testgit over here, and you can add a description like this is just for testing or anything you want, and just click on create repository. Yeah, so if you guys see here that there are a few commands that are given here on how we can link this particular thing to the changes that we were doing. So as for now, you can see that we have already made a file. This basically tells you to create a readme file. uh, you don't need to do it here. And after that, we are having this git init file, and what we did was git add and the name of the file. If you remember, we are having these two files called the test kit and the test kit one. And after that, we committed our code, and now that particular code is here in this particular thing called the git local repository or the .git folder, right? It's everything is tracked up till here. So where did it go? So now what you guys really need to do, before that, we have also configured this. For those of you who have not configured this, if you are asking about how we can create a new branch, just type this command git branch -m main, or you can also type the command that I showed you guys here, like this git checkout -b Manish. This git checkout -b Manish basically does what it does is creates a new branch and also switches to that particular branch. So it basically does two things at a time. So it's better than doing this thing. Yeah. So if you have caught up till now, this is the thing which you guys need to look for. Okay. This git remote add origin, and this is the URL of your particular repository. But there is a catch. There is a catch before doing this thing. What I want you guys to do is click on your profile icon here. Let me explain it to you a bit. Like previously, what Git used to do is you could just enter the password before pushing it to a repository. But now it's actually not the case. You need to provide a token, like your personal token, which you guys need to generate from here. So follow this step along or note it down very carefully. So click on this thing called settings and come down here and click on this called developer settings. And from here, you have this option called personal access tokens. From there, just click on tokens classic. I repeat, from personal access tokens, click on tokens classic. And from there, you will be having this option called generate new token. And when you click on generate new token, you must click on this particular thing called generate new token classic. Not this one, guys. This one, generate new token classic. Click on this thing, and I have my two-factor authenticated. 1 second. I need to enter. Yes. 92. Approve this. Yeah. So now this page is going to pop up, and you need to enter any note like this, a testing. You can give it any note you want and give it a expiration date. Like for me, I will give it a 7 days expiration date for now. But what you guys can do is click on this thing called no expiration. That basically means that this particular token is never going to expire and you can use it every time you link your particular repository. And after that, check all these things, like just click on the top of every section. Like from here, I click repo workflow and just check everything here. After you have finished checking every particular checkboxes, you can click on this thing called generate token and it's going to generate you the token. So this is my token right now. And remember, this is a very important step. You won't be able to see this token again. So make sure you copy this thing, and let me open a notepad again, and let me paste it here. So this is the thing which you want to look for. This is very important, and just make sure you copy this and save it with you. So after you have copied it, now you can go into your Git, like the terminal, your Git bash, and one second. Yeah. So what you guys can do right now is add this. What is not working? Git push. No, we don't need to do git push. Well, sorry. Uh, did I close that thing? Yeah, I guess I did. So GitHub, I have to go to GitHub again. Keep this token, guys. We'll be needing it. You go into your repositories. Click on this thing called test git, that the folder, that the thing you created, and copy this URL somewhere. Let me copy it here for now. And there is a change you need to make this to your URL. If you are doing this thing for the first time for your Git from a Git bash, what you guys really need to do is copy this token, Control C, Control V, right? And click on add and type @ before your github.com. And this is basically the whole string which you will be needing, and copy it. Now go into your terminal and just paste it. Yep. Now this particular repository that we created is linked to our this working folder. Now if I do this command of git push, you can also write origin main, but you don't need to do that right now because you are on the main branch and you are pushing from there only. So I can skip this also, but this is a good convention of doing things. And now if I click on enter, you can see that everything which we guys did has been put up to GitHub. So if I reload this, you can see that all the files that we guys created and the changes that we guys made, like it's having hi there, it's having test1.txt, anything regarding to that. So that's basically how you guys push the changes and how this thing particularly works. That's a lot. Let me check the chat for once. Samvid, is anyone having any problem? Okay, so it's telling to repeat the process of token generation. Okay, let me repeat the token generation once more. So what you need to do is click on your profile icon, go into this thing called, or like the option called settings. From there, you can click on this thing called developer settings. You don't need a readme.txt right now. You don't have to do that. And when you do this, like click on this thing called personal access token, expand this and click on tokens classic. And from here, click on generate new token. And from here, click on generate new token classic. This is the thing you guys want to look for, and give it any name. Say git test. I will give any name and click on expiration date of your choice and check all the options. Check all the options. And click on generate token. Samvit, is everyone caught up to the point? Hello, Samvit. So Priyanshu says yes. I want more confirmation, guys. I need to do this fast. Yeah. So if you have generated a new token, just click on generate token now and copy this thing. This is the thing which you guys want to look out for. You won't be able to say this anytime soon, never, basically. So just copy this thing and paste it anywhere where you guys think you are comfortable with, because and don't expose this anywhere. This is very important. If anyone is having access to this particular token, then you are pretty much doomed. So just copy this particular thing, and after copying it, uh, the URL that you guys created, or the wait a second, let me just click on here. Let me click another repository. Your repository is test-git. Yeah. So from here you can click on code copy, or if you guys have already done it, it's fine. Or you will be when you guys go to this particular page, you will be saying this particular command called git remote add, and this thing won't be here. This particular thing won't be here. Okay. This is the thing which you guys will be having, and between of like after this, like the forward slashes, you need to copy your token, paste it here, and put a at the rate. This is the thing which you guys want to do, and it's very important, so that you don't need to enter your token again and again, right? So if you guys are caught up, I need a confirmation again. Okay, yeah. So just copy it, and here before doing your before doing git push, just paste that thing here and enter. When you do enter, it will say nothing, because that's how basically it goes. And here, after doing that, just type the command git push and the name of the branch. Currently we are having the name of the branch as main, so we will be doing it as main, and you will see that every changes that you did will be reflected in your GitHub. So if you see here, I already have done it right now, so it's basically done here. And if you type git status again, what I write in the notes section to generate ticket. Sambit, can you answer him in the chat, please? You can pretty much write anything. Yeah, Urjita, you haven't typed at the rate before GitHub. I told you that your link should look like this. If I let me zoom into it a bit. Yeah, after typing this token, you need to put a at the rate. This is the thing you guys want to look out for. Just put this at the rate, and then just paste that particular command here and put and click enter, and you will be good to go. And if you guys want to see what are the URLs linked, so you can do just git remote -b. Yeah, so if you see here that this basically shows what are the URLs that is linked, and if you see here that this particular thing is the same link that I have put here. You guys can verify again with this command called git remote b. Are you guys caught up? Please type it in the chat. If you are able to see all the changes in your GitHub, type it here and do note it. And there's one thing which I want you guys to note again, that is basically when you're adding a commit, try to make the commit message as a present tense, because that's how basically the convention in GitHub works. Don't if you say I haven't written in any like past tense or future tense, anything. I have just put in the present tense. And whenever you guys are contributing to any repo out there or even in your own repository, make sure you type the commit message in present tense because that's the basic convention. So for the next session, these are the main things which you guys will be needing. Apart from this, I don't think you will be needing anything else for now, but try to keep in mind that whenever you are working in a particular feature, change your branch. Okay, it's a good convention, and if you're doing it in your own, it's Vaibhav, can you help Raj Tanu? I think he has already done it, and that's why it is showing main fetch first. There's a lot of things in Git you guys can't even imagine. Like I cannot actually cover everything in for one session. So this, but the things that I covered today is basically what you guys will be needing in the upcoming session and in most of the cases. And I will showing you last one more thing before moving forward with Vaibhav is this thing called git pull. Okay, so say I am suppose I am having like making I want to make change in here in the GitHub repository in the file here. I will click on that particular file, and if you guys see there is this icon that when you hover on it, it shows with the tooltip called the edit this file. If you click it here, I can edit anything. I can edit this particular file. Like, let me hi there, Manish. Keeping it simple, guys. So type any, and if you guys also see that this is a convention that I guys told you that it's automatic coming up update and not updated. That this basically shows that Git also suggests us to make the commit message in the present tense and not the past tense. So if I do commit, you can see that my change is reflected here. But if I go in my local repository and test batch, so cat test.txt, it basically shows hi there, and this change is not reflected. So what do I do now? How do I pull this particular thing that I did to my terminal or the particular folder which I am working on? So what I need to do is git pull origin main, or you can also type git pull, like giving the origin. Okay, it's hard to see, right? So let me clear the screen again. It's fine now. Like git pull. If I do type the command git pull and press enter, you will see that something happens. So it shows that which branch I want to like fetch the changes from. I can also type git pull origin main. Yeah. So I need to specify the origin, like basically the branch from where I want to pull the changes from. And if you let me clear the screen again. If I type the command cat x what percentage dot txt, it basically shows hi there, Manish, and you can see the changes have been made here. So that's how basically easy it is. If you type git log, it will also show what are the changes that I made, like the update test. This is the thing, this particular commit, and this is the change that I made from the GitHub and not from our like the local. I just pulled my changes from the GitHub to this particular working repository or the working folder using the command git pull origin and the name of my branch, that is main. So yep, I think you guys are pretty much able, like, good to go. And as far as the next part goes, Vaibhav will be taking you through. So wait, let me stop sharing my screen. I will be there to answer your queries. No issues on that. So Vaibhav, on to you.
Okay, guys, do you still have any queries? Please ask to Manish at first, I guess, because it was a long part.
And the URL that I gave you guys in the Notion link, go into that particular URL and practice, because it's a very good website to practice visually, and you will get to know what's actually happening in Git, where all the commands that you are doing, basically everything that you guys are doing there, like practicing, you will be pretty much using those things in your day-to-day life. So it's pretty easy, and it will get to your head, like what's happening and why this thing is happening. So yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah, Priyanshu has given the link again. Samit, can you pin the link, please? Will be pretty beneficial. Yeah, there all the important links have been given, and there is also another thing I want you guys to do is, if you go to that particular link, you will see that there is a link called in the link called the GitHub Student Expert Pack. Like, as you guys are students right now, so grab that particular thing, and you guys will be having GitHub Pro and a lot of features you guys will be having. I mentioned everything in that Notion link, so you can see it from there and do that thing. Try googling around, try making new repositories, and try doing all practicing all the commands. Nothing is going to break, you don't need to worry. Yeah, so Vaibhav, I think you are good to go and can continue.
Okay, now let's jump into repositories and let's check what else can we do with GitHub. Okay, the screen is visible, right?
Wherever your screen is visible.
So this is the, as you guys know, of GitHub. At first, let's talk about forking. So what is forking? If you want someone, just a second. Okay. So if you want someone's repository in your a copy of someone's repository in your repository, so you need to fork it at first. So the method is called forking. What do you need to do? Let me just show it through one of my friend's profile. Like, you have a GitHub profile. Like, let me go to this profile. It's one of my friend's profile. So going to the repository tab. Like, let's view.py. Okay, this is a repository. It's not, I am not the owner of this repository, but I can use this repository by making a copy of it. So I'm going to copy it. There's a fork button over here. Like, it is mentioning that fork your own copy of the repository. So I need to click over here to make a copy of it. Yeah. So this is the page. It's like making a new repository. It's just like that way. So I can just click on create, and you can change the repository name if you want to, but I'm just leaving it as it is. So I can clear it on I can click on create fork and it will start forking. So there you have. If I go to my repositories, as you can see, there it is, view.py. If I open it, there it is mentioned like it is forked from another repository that is called sparkling star slash view.py. So this was all about. Now you can just copy it through the HTTPS or SSH, anything else you want, anything you want, and you like push into this repository and use the code. After that, let's talk about starting. So starting is nothing about bookmarking a repository. Let me show you with
Service open.
my WhatsApp. Okay, I guess that's okay.
It's visible still. Close the tab.
I guess now it's okay.
Yes. The
Yeah.
tab is open.
Okay. So you guys watched the forking part, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now coming to the starting part, how can you mark a repository? So to bookmark a repository, you need to go to a repository at first. Let me just repository from Manish Bhaiya's repo. So like I want to use this code in my local, or like I would like to check on this repository in future. So what I can do, I can bookmark it. So rather than bookmarking through the URL, I can bookmark through this star option. Now it got a 1 star, and if I go to my stars, like your stars, you can check there is the Solana Airbnb repository that I can look upon in near future if I want to. Coming to the next part, issue creating. So what is issue creating? I'm gonna show it through one
Sorry
of
to
my.
interrupt you, Vaibhav, but open the presentation mode, the slideshow. The slideshow right above.
I guess it's visible, right?
It's showing loading actually.
Yeah, it's visible.
Due to my internet connection.
It's
No,
okay.
it's fine, it's okay.
Okay. Okay. So issue creating. Let's create a issue in our repository. So I want like some changes in my code base that like I want a help from others in my code base. So what? How can I get a help? How can people see that I need help in my code base? So I'm going to my repositories. Okay. So let me open one of my repo. I'm open to SciAC repo. In the repo, there is a, after this code tab, you can see issue tab. You can go over there and create a new issue. There are already hello. Okay. Uh, So, okay, let me show you from the beginning. You need to go your repositories at first to create a issue. You can create issues on other repositories too, but I'm showing it from my repository. So I am opening a repo. In the repo, you can check there are code, issues, pull request tabs. I need to go to the issues tab. Here I can get help from others by marking some issues and creating new issues in my code base. So how can I create a new issue that I need help from regarding anything? So I need to go to the creative, like let me just type anything. Okay, update readme. So I want to update my readme file. So this is a short, like a demo of our issue. So if I submit a new issue, you can check a new issue has been created that is showing update readme as a issue name, and the comment that I mentioned, enter features part in it. So I need a feature part in my readme file. So if I go again in the issues tab, you can see there is a new issue has been generated, updated readme, and if I open it, so there is the issue. I can close the issue as well if the issue gets resolved by someone. Someone if updates my README and pushes the code into my code base, and if I think the code is fine and can work, then I would merge it and close this issue because this issue is over, of course. Now coming to the PR part, how can I make a PR? So PRs are nothing but pull requests. That's I talked about.
Vaibhav, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, regarding the PR and the README, it will be covered in the next session. So I think you can just show the navigation and heat map, and you are good to go. You have
Okay.
to
Okay.
fast pace it.
You just need to hit the forward slash button in your keyboard, and then you can type any repo you want. Like I'm doing, like say that here it is showing the owner of it. I need to click on enter, and it will go to the Sparkling Stars repository directly. I don't need to search it through multiple repos, and can go to the Sparkling Star repository automatically. But what if I need to search in it in the repo inside the repository? So for searching inside the repository, I can like there is a tag over there, you can see owner Sparkling Star. So it is going to search inside the repository. I can search for like README files. It is showing all the README files that Sparkling Stars have in this repository. So I can go any other README file directly inside the README file. Here you can see this is the README file of everyday object classifier, that EPM. So you can see automatically I went inside the README file. So if I want to get inside my repositories, then I can just like mention over here my name. Here you can go. It's directly jumped into my repository. Now you can quickly access your repository also by just entering your name inside the repository, and then you can like do a repository search or a code search as well. Like you can enter any code line if you want to search it in your files. Like if I enter Streamlit, okay, yes. So here it is showing one of like in the code section, you can see a header file, a h1 tag where the Streamlit exists. So I can just click on it. There it is in the README file. One using a h1 tag as Streamlit what exists. That's how can navigate through multiple code repositories. Now talking about the heat map and the README, let me show. Okay, no, okay. So
Vaibhav,
let
hello.
me, yeah,
Yeah, you can just wrap up by showing the heat map only. No need to go to
okay.
the readme. We are having
So
time.
heat map is nothing but a visual representation of your work that you have done so far in the your in your GitHub. So this is the heat map. This is how it looks. You can see 13 contributions on Monday, on 8 contributions on Tuesday. So here you can get motivated just seeing these green boxes covering the whole heat map that you worked so hard, and others can also be motivated by showing, like checking your heat map also. So this is all about the features. I guess we are running out of time. That's why we need to wrap up. So that was all about.
Yeah. So that was all about, guys. So now Orko, up to you. Uh, if you're talking about session 2, I don't think it's there in the PPT.
Yes, it's in the PPT. I just recently show it. Okay, don't worry. I am presenting. Can you show the PPT? Is the PPT visible?
Yeah, yeah, it's visible.
All right. So, yeah, it's time to reveal the speakers. 10th of October. So, we will have two speakers for the session 2. First one is Manish Barnwal, who is a GitHub campus expert at sustainability, and he's achieved Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador Gold, and he's also one of the lead organizer at Hack for Bengal community. And another speaker is Shoham Banerjee, certified for consecutive 2 years as a successful GSOC contributor. Now, can you guys tell me what is the meaning of GSOC? How many of you are aware about that? Manish, I cannot see the chat box, so can you tell me what are the responses?
Yeah, yeah, they're all saying Google Summer of Code.
Nice, nice. That's it. So he's going to give a speech on GSOC, Google Summer of Code. He's also ex-cloud and cybersecurity lead at our GDSC RCCIIT chapter of previous session. So now I would like to know that what are your expectations at session 2? Please say in the chat box, or you don't have open mic access, but I want to see your expectation in the chat box. What do you think? What's going to happen? Except the speaker sessions or hands-on workshop sessions. That's any other food? Yeah, yeah. Learning, obviously there will be learning, but except learning, missions. Yeah, very important part. Using coin, yes. More practice stages will reveal, yes. Common project to contribute, yeah. Exposure, open source project, yeah, that might happen. Anything else? চাকরি ভাই এটা তো আমাদেরই নেই
চাকরির এক্সপিরিয়েন্স লেভেল হয়ে যেতে পারে।
collab projects, yes, definitely you guys are going to make connections, so definitely you guys are going to collaborate also. We'll get
ভাই ডোন্ট ডু দিস ফর মার পয়েন্টস ব্রো।
motivating us. What's the experience for me? Certificate, trick. Free gifts. Okay, so you can see there are a lot of responses. Yes, many of them are correct. Almost all of them are correct. But I am actually not going to read anything else because the whole organizing team is going to beat me. So now is the actual time to wrap up our event. So thank you guys for joining us today. And for the session 2, the registration link will going to open and everything will be shared with you guys. And I'm sharing the open source Safari event Discord server link here. Kindly join here for future updates.
অর্ঘদা দেয়ার ইজ ওয়ান ডাউট, সেদিনকে ল্যাপটপ অর এনিথিং কি আনতে হবে এর বাইরে?
আনলে ভালো হয়. It will be better for you.
It is suggested to bring your laptops with you. It's I think there will be also hands-on session about regarding the open source contributions in like opening an issue, creating a PR. All those will be covered there. So yeah, try to bring your laptop.
Yes, and big thanks to Manish da for a great session. So
Yeah, thank you to Manish and Baivab, to both of you for taking a very long session and very interactive. And I think people learned a lot of things regarding Git and GitHub. And still, if you have any doubt regarding Git and GitHub, don't hesitate to reach us through Discord server. We will happy to help you guys. So, any more questions from your side?
So those who are not having laptops, you can just use and see what your friend is doing that day, and that's how you can work it out. And I want you guys to practice this thing because it's going to help you a lot. And apart from that, all the best for the next session. And I guess we are good to go.
No. Tickets for offline session will be released. We will release actually another form for the registration. The previous form was only for this online event. For the offline, we will release another form. No worries. So I think we can end our session here. So thank you guys for joining us again.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
yes.